Hey guys, my name is Ayo. I'm from Library 113 and I'm here to make a video for my fellow students. It's not easy. We are out here grinding, putting in hours, putting in work, doing the most, and yet our exams are still looking like a sticky one. But I'm here to share a few tips that I've learned along the way that ideally can make your revision period as effective as possible. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So I've split these tips into 3 main categories that I want to make it as short and as sweet as possible. First thing, plan your revision. Like actually plan it. Don't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna revise this, then revise. No, write it down. Write down what you need to revise, by when, and how much you need to know. You're gonna have to be really strategic with your time. I mean, I can't lie, this is like the 2nd week of May. I really looked at my wrist and there's nothing there. Anyway, this is the 2nd week of May. Chances are your exams are in the next month or so. You don't have time. So you need to make sure that your time is being used as effectively as possible. Make a revision calendar. There's so many templates on Google. I'll even put some links in the description box so that you can see it. Just make sure that you're managing your time effectively. And the best way to do that is to plan your revision schedule. Now, my second tip, focus, focus, focus. You've heard it from Grandma Ellie. Focus, okay? Make sure you do everything in your power to make sure that your focus is on deck. There are some really effective ways you can make sure that when you're revising and revising only. I think you'll be able to relate for me when I say, I'm revising, but I'm also thinking about Instagram. I'm revising, but I'm also thinking about what I can have for dinner. I'm revising, but I'm still thinking about that funny tweet about GOT. I'm joking, I don't watch that show, I'm sorry. But it's really important that when you're revising, your focus is all on that topic. Do what you need to do to make sure that you focus. For me, a great method has been downloading focus apps, which means that I have to stay on the app. I can't go on my phone for any other thing to do any rubbish. I have to stay on the app, and if I don't do it, there's consequences. I've got this really cool app called Flipped where I basically lock down my whole phone. All my apps disappear. I'm gonna show you a few clips of that now. So there's no way I can hit Instagram or hit Twitter when I'm meant to be studying because the app isn't there. And I set a time limit, so it's really great. Make sure you do everything you can do to focus. Another thing I do to make sure that I focus is I put on really nice ambient sounds. Like I really like the sounds of trains and of the rain and of forests and everything like that to make sure that there's nothing that's taking my focus away, because I know that if I put on Schoolboy Q, I'm not gonna be focused on the work I need to do. So put on some ambient sounds, create the atmosphere that you need to focus, and that way you know that when you're putting in work, you're actually putting in work. Okay, now my third and my final tip, try loads of different methods of revision. It's the only way it's gonna work, especially if you're not sure what's the most effective thing for you. There's so many different things that I can say, and I'm gonna say 5 main ones for you today. First one, flashcards. I mean, everybody says it, everybody does it. It doesn't work for everyone, but it can be so effective. Oh, wow, you can't see it. Let me see what YouTubers do. Focus. Okay, it's not fixing, don't worry. Put short notes of everything that you need to know in these little flashcards and just keep memorizing them. Use them as like reference points. Basically, I'm learning about corporate governance, so the law, or it's not really the law, but the code is what I need to know at the back of my mind in every question that I write. So I've got the UK corporate governance code right here, all the principles, all the provisions, all of that. I've got it all here so that I can learn it and learn it off head. Put it in my bag if I'm on the train, if I'm anywhere where I'm just waiting around, I can just be looking at it and making sure that I know the information that's in here. It's a really effective way. There's also a part of that, you could try the method of notes, but in the sense that you just write and write and write and write. It's a really repetitive thing to do, but it can be so effective, and it's worked for me in university especially. Write what you need to know, you rewrite it, you rewrite it, and you rewrite it. Repetition is so effective for memory. We know it, we've seen it. It's probably worked for you in the past. So I would definitely suggest try writing out notes, highlighting, writing out notes again, writing it out again, testing yourself, writing it out without looking at it, that sort of thing can be so effective. Definitely try it. Now, another method, highlighting. That might work for you. It doesn't really work for me, but if you think about it in terms of colors, if you're really creative about it, it can work really well. So say for example, you have your textbook and you need to know every definition of something. You might highlight all your definitions in yellow. If you have a photographic memory specifically as well, if you're trying to remember a definition, you'll remember it that it was in yellow. That might really work well. And then maybe you'll put certain concepts or certain theories in blue, and then keep it going for other different colors. Highlighting can be really effective, and it's also a really quick way of going over your notes as well. So definitely try that too. Another thing for me is actually talking and saying out loud. So I'll just be here and I'll be explaining the act of something, or explaining a code for something, or explaining a concept, just saying out loud. The thing about when you say it out loud is that if you're not making sense, you'll know that you may not understand something. Then you can go back on it, read it, and try and say it out loud again, if you feel me. So definitely try that out. That's a really good method for me. It works every time. And the fifth method, and what I would say is probably the most effective method of revision, trying to teach someone else what you're learning. That way you will definitely know that you understand the concept, and you'll probably remember it really well. You can't teach someone something you don't know, simply that. So if you're really worried, do I actually know this? I always feel like I forget it. Maybe try and get a friend, a family member, anyone that you can. Someone off the street if you want. No, don't do that actually. Don't get someone off the street, please. And just try and explain to them and teach them what you need to learn. I do it with my friends all the time. I'll just be like, okay, I'm gonna tell you about directors, non-executive directors, you know? I'll just say something like that. And then that method, when they ask questions, it's really great when they ask questions, you'll know, okay, I know this topic enough, or no, I don't know this topic enough. Study groups are really great for that as well. I mean, it all sort of ties in. Teach each other. Anything that you feel like you don't know, ask. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that was a helpful video for you guys. I definitely know these tips have helped me in the past, and hopefully they're going to help me for this exam in June. Am I right? Let me know how you're getting on. If you can as well, interact with us. Let me know what's your most effective method of revision. This is meant to be a forum. We actually need to help each other out, because time is going, and we need to pass, and we want to pass well. First class, am I right? Distinctions, am I right? Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.